Hey guys. Hi. Hi. So I think we're qualifying how nerdy we are. Is that what I've gathered? I keep a Buffy the Vampire Slayer action figure in my purse. The boobs are worn off on accident. I usually color them in with a Sharpie, and definitely don't show a man on your second date that. He probably won't call you again. Or actually, in this case, he did, because he was like, I have a personalized Batman license plate. It says the Bat. And I was like, oh, I'm going to die alone. It's going to happen. I recently got dumped. Yeah, I want some kind of reaction. I don't know what. I don't know if I want you to be like, boo, or like, woo. I don't know what I want. That was the same, woo, via text. By a guy I had no idea I was dating. Like, the text was legit that long. Like, who has an Android in here? Gross. It was like one of 4 text messages. I don't know. It had something to do with like his dead brother dropping out of college, how much he hated Brett Favre. I don't know. I didn't really read it. And like the comedian in me wanted to write something like hacky back, like K. We all hate K. We hate it. Or like new phone. Who's this? So fucking hacky, right? Instead, I just sent him an emoji of me dodging a bullet. Yeah. I get dumped a lot, though. I really do. I don't know why. I actually do. I usually only wear sweatpants, and I sweat a ton. And maybe the Buffy the Vampire Slayer thing in there. Normally I'm in sweatpants. This is the first time I've worn real pants in a while. And I spent most of my time trying to figure out how to explain to people I'm going to meet why I'm in sweatpants. Like, you come up with the excuse. You're like, oh, I was at the gym. I ran into some traffic. I don't know. I just don't want you to think I don't take you seriously. Just I don't take me seriously. But yeah, I get dumped a lot. Anybody a football fan in here? All right, half and half. I'm going to tell it anyway. I got dumped one time by a guy who said, quote, your overreaction to the Broncos-Seahawks loss was a real wake-up call for me. And I don't think I can do this anymore. Now, those of you who are familiar with football, not the game you were thinking of. Seahawks blew out the Broncos in a Super Bowl about 4 years ago. We pretended it didn't exist, but not that game. It was a preseason game. A game that didn't matter. But in his defense, he picked me up. I was laying on the ground wearing a dress, holding a 3-legged pit bull, feeding it a Dorito, crying, going, this is how we die. His name was Woody. The guy, not the pit bull. Definitely another bullet dodged, right? So like I said, I get dumped a lot. I actually just recently really got dumped by someone that I was actually in a relationship with. Jimmy the Dragon. I got dumped by Jimmy the Dragon. Self-appointed nickname. No one else called him that. First time I heard about this, he sent me a text and said, the dragon's on his way. And listen, guys, you see a lot of dumb shit. Thank God you're laughing, because sometimes an audience goes, ooh, and I'm like, oh, those are the guys who are like, we do not. Turns out you're the smart guys, you're stupid. Got it. Okay. So I read that, and I was like, I don't even want to fucking know. Throw it down. And then another time, it was right after we're in bed, and I'm naked, so, use your imaginations. And he goes, told you, babe, Jimmy the Dragon had that. I stood up, and I was like, who the fuck is Jimmy the Dragon? Seriously, who the fuck is Jimmy the Dragon? And he goes, very seriously, babe, I'm Jimmy the Dragon. And that's one of those moments that, like, your brain glosses over, your eyes, everything, and you're like, how did I get here? Like, what choices have I made? Why am I not just finishing sex with Jeffrey, I have a 401k? Johnny, I pay my own rent, and my parents don't support me anymore because I'm 40. I might be projecting. What's worse is that Jimmy the Dragon broke my heart. That's even more embarrassing, right? He had a coke problem too. Shocking, right? For those of you, that's shocker. That's what, okay. He was into some weird sex stuff, too. Duh. And, like, listen, like, nothing's really off the table for me. Like, I'm, like, pretty open. I like bathroom stuff. Like, you can't poop on me. You might. You're very pretty. You could probably poop on me. But, like... Sorry. That went another direction. You could probably poop on me, too. I don't know. Where is this going? So nothing's really off the table for me, right? And one time I'm, like, on top, and he's like, spit in my mouth. And I was like... I did it. And he went, ah! And I pictured him in his head going, dragon juice! And then he goes, do it again! And I'm like, still going, by the way, like, do it again. He's like, ah! More dragon juice, I imagine, right? And then again, and I was like, but I think I need some water. Like, I didn't know this is a thing that you wanted. And the funny thing, the next day, we're like hanging out casually. How do you hang out casually with someone after that? And I was like, hey, last night was interesting. Just so you know, like, I never want you to spit in my mouth. Whatever happens or signal I might be giving you, don't do it. And you would think he'd want to have a conversation. Instead, he was like, cool. Do you want to get like Pizza Hut tonight, or should we like go out? I was like, oh, so I'm not the first woman who spit in that mouth, I guess. So yeah, he broke my heart, guys, which is fun. I've cried on more treadmills in the last month. Do you want to know how not to get hit on at the gym? Although one guy came up to me, and he's like, hey, sweetheart. And I think I was running and screaming, womanizer, womanizer. I was like, fuck off, womanizer. I haven't fit in these jeans in like 2 years. Thanks, Jimmy the Dragon. Woo! Thank you, guys. Happy Sunday. I'm Kym Kral.